In this video, which is the third of the series, we will take a look at what an abusive relationship looks like. But before we get to that, I wanted to answer one question which I get asked very frequently. How do we know that it is a conflict and not abuse? Well, this is a very relevant question. Every relationship will have conflicts or arguments which could be due to differences in opinions over certain issues in a household. These can usually be resolved with a talk, and normality is restored soon after. In such a situation, there is no desire to hurt, humiliate, or control one another. Simple ways of working through or around the problem are identified and the issue is over. However, in an abusive relationship, a distinguishing feature is that one of the persons in the relationship completely invalidates and controls the other person. There is complete disregard shown for the emotions or the feelings of one person by the other. While conflicts happen sometimes, if that conflict starts following a pattern and is spread over a prolonged period of time, then it is identified as abuse. We will talk about the 8 signs of abusive relationships. But we do want you to know that if you are facing abuse, remember that the abuse is never your fault. Abuse happens because of factors associated with an abuser. They could be behavioral or emotional, they could be social factors, they could even be genetic factors. Abuse is about the abuser and not about you. The following are signs that you might be in an abusive relationship. Number 1, physical violence. This is completely unacceptable. Physical violence is beating, hitting, pushing, or any other action that can cause physical injury to a person. Here I would like to say to those facing physical violence, reach out for help because nothing can justify it and no one ever deserves it. Number 2, communicating in a way that is meant to hurt another person. This can be done by criticizing a person, belittling them, humiliating or shaming them, or by simply using language that is meant to make them feel horrible about themselves. Number 3, forcing someone to do something that they don't like. This is a very common thing that happens in families. In the Indian context, oftentimes women are told that they must conduct themselves and are asked to follow very rigid rules citing culture and tradition. Being told what to wear, how to walk, talk, or behave with a view to control is abuse. In adult relationships, if someone is not comfortable doing something, then there is no reason to force them or to threaten them with consequences. Number 4, using money as a means to bully or create fear in someone is called economic abuse. Taking away someone's salary, jewelry, or property by force, giving them too little to sustain on, providing inadequate medical care, food, or essentials, especially if you can afford to do it, but you do it anyways, to have an upper hand and control that person, are all signs of economic abuse in a relationship. Number 6, being emotionally unavailable in a relationship. This happens when one person in the relationship completely overlooks the emotions or feelings of the other person in that relationship. They give you the silent treatment, ignore you, invalidate your tears, and react with complete lack of empathy, instead rationalizing why it was important for them to treat you that way. Number 7, not taking responsibility for their bad behavior. Abusive people always blame the other person for their failures. They lack accountability and will lie in order to blame others. Their objective is to make the other person feel responsible for a bad situation so that they can get away with their actions. Number 8, manipulating and isolating someone. When you manipulate someone's emotions in such a way that they become isolated, stop meeting people, stop enjoying things or activities that they were once part of, and start to keep to themselves out of fear, shame, or guilt, that is abuse. They feel that people will ask them questions and they are ashamed to answer those questions because they are in a constant state of confusion due to your behavior towards them. I am hoping that these points give you some clarity on what an abusive relationship can look like. We have noticed that due to ingrained beliefs, abusers do not realize that chronic mistreatment of someone impacts that person both mentally and physically in a very negative manner. It leads a person to become depressed, anxious, agitated, irritated, suicidal, or self-destructive. If you are watching this video and realize that you are an abusive person, you should get help immediately. That's all for today. My attempt is to get you a balanced and meaningful content through my videos. I hope you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you again. Bye.